Welcome! This short video from Decoding Dyslexia, New Jersey will walk you through a step-by-step guide for raising dyslexia awareness at your local library. We hope it inspires you to engage and make a difference in your own community. Step 1. Contact your local library to discuss organizing a visual display or community event to raise dyslexia awareness. This could have special significance in October for Dyslexia Awareness Month, but truly you can reach families that need this information at any point in the year. Step 2. Meet with the head librarian and discuss why raising dyslexia awareness is so important to you. Are you impacted as a parent, a teacher, a special service provider? Perhaps you're an individual with dyslexia. Whatever the impact, share your story. Librarians are community members that definitely need to be aware of this common reading difficulty. Step 3. In that conversation, be sure to mention the importance of labeling some of the information in your display or in the event invitation as for struggling readers. Many parents know their child is struggling, but they do not know why. Other parents may have a 504 plan or an IEP for their child, but those may have been received under the eligibility category Specific Learning Disability or SLD, and they may not be aware that that means dyslexia. Step 4. Inquire about the type of space and the size of the space available at your library. For example, do you have access to shelf space or wall space? Is there a specific closed display unit you can use? Where in the library will the display or event be located? The children's room? The common space in the main stacks? Or perhaps there is a special community room available. If possible, take a tour of the space and let your creative ideas flow. Think about how you can best make use of what's offered. Step 5. Offer to help select books for the display. Some possible suggestions for adults include Overcoming Dyslexia, a new and complete science-based program for reading problems at any level by Sally Shaywitz, Parenting the Struggling Reader, a guide to diagnosing and finding help for your child's reading difficulties by Susan Hall and Louisa Moats, and the Dyslexia Empowerment Plan, a blueprint for renewing your child's confidence and love of learning by Ben Foss. Possible suggestions for children and teens include titles that feature characters with dyslexia, such as Thank You, Mr. Fokker and Junkyard Wonders by Patricia Polacco, If You're So Smart, How Come You Can't Spell Mississippi by Barbara Esham, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, Trapped by Judy Spur, and the Hank Zipser, The World's Greatest Underachiever series by Henry Winkler. These selections are not exhaustive, of course, so be sure to suggest your favorite titles as well. You may even choose to include a few titles geared towards educators focused on the science of reading, such as Proust and the Squid, The Story and Science of the Reading Brain by Marianne Wolf, Reading in the Brain, The New Science of How We Read by Stanislav Dewan, and Language at the Speed of Sight, How We Read and Why So Many Can't, and What Can Be Done About It by Mark Seidenberg. If your library doesn't already have these titles, suggest to the librarian that they be added to the collection. That way, they'll be available for patrons to borrow and enjoy after the awareness display is dismantled. Step 6. Create a poster for display on the wall or prepare informational handouts. Research reliable information on dyslexia, including the warning signs, appropriate evidence-based methods of remediation, and information on accommodations and assistive technology tools for students. You might also highlight famous people who learn differently and include their photos and biographies. The options are endless. You might also consider including information on our state's dyslexia legislation or providing a printed copy of the New Jersey Dyslexia Handbook, a guide to early literacy development and reading struggles, available on the New Jersey Department of Education website. Step 7. Ask if the library will host a movie night or a parent information or support group session. Some of these popular documentary films may be a perfect fit. You can Google these titles to find out how to access the films. The Big Picture, Rethinking Dyslexia, Dyslexia the Movie, Embracing Dyslexia, and Journey into Dyslexia are just a few. Not up for a viewing party? Okay, then maybe a coffee chat or an evening support group session is more relevant. Here's the good news. You get to decide what's going to work best in your community. And finally, step 8. Ask if the library will display informational handouts about Decoding Dyslexia New Jersey and the New Jersey branch of the International Dyslexia Association on a regular, consistent basis. Perhaps there's a community bulletin board or a resource center where information of public interest can be displayed and disseminated. This could be a vital resource to families in need. You can contact each directly to find out how to get or produce promotional materials if your library is willing to distribute them. Remember, Decoding Dyslexia New Jersey is a grassroots movement driven by New Jersey families concerned with the limited access to educational interventions for dyslexia within our public schools. Our overall impact depends on individuals like you. Our success relies on your willingness to raise awareness and get engaged in the movement in your local communities. Be sure to share your efforts with us through photos and postings on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to hear from you. Thank you.